Being brown and tattooed in America. This is just one of those off the dome videos, but yes, I just said being brown and being tattooed is certainly something to take in consideration. Now that we know that if you're brown and tattooed, it could literally lead to your incarceration, being sent to a foreign modern day version of a gulag where you are likely to be tortured for the rest of your natural life. Having a tattoo on your skin, if you're a brown person in America at this point, is not advisable. Not even safe if you look at what's happening to some of these folks. Now, keep in mind, I understand a hell of a lot of folks are going to suggest, well, no, they're only doing it to illegal immigrants. First of all, it's wrong to do it to any damn body based on a tattoo, but it's happening to folks who are green card holders, asylum seekers, and many that did not come in the country illegally. So let's get past the mindset that this shit is only happening to illegal immigrants. But as always, I invite you in the comments to point out anything that you think I may be getting wrong, because hell, I don't have all the answers, but I am concerned. I'm going to submit this to you. Probably one of the most fastest growing businesses in Hispanic communities, one of the most profitable businesses, is tattoo removal services. How many Hispanics would you surmise has probably at least considered removing the ink from their skin? Because if the government sees it, the government may come to their own conclusion, which would not be favorable to the individual wearing that ink. Now, also, I would add this. Once we remove due process from the playing field, whereas if you are border security or ICE, immigration customs officials, or whatever the case may be, you can actually judge a person and they don't have any right to push back on it. Just simply say they're a member of Tren de Aragua, one of the gangs, or a member of MS-13, and your word is law. Can you imagine how much enjoyment any individual working for those agencies that do not like Hispanics are having right now? Yes, I'm talking about the potential for racism. If you do not like the Hispanic community, if you have an issue or just sheer hatred toward the Hispanic community, right now is a great time to apply for a job at ICE, Border Patrol, or anything dealing with immigration, because it literally gives you the power over their entire life. Not only do you get the power to deport them, but you can also punish them in the process. A hell of a lot of folks, before being deported, were detained for an infinite period of time. If they believe your records, your visa, your application, your status, any of that is incorrect or unofficial, they can detain you damn near indefinitely. These folks are not being allowed to speak out. So understand, the likelihood of people being robbed, raped, victimized is probably pretty damn high when you know that the individual you're victimizing is not going to get a say in court. If he doesn't have due process, who's going to know if I take all the money out of his pocket and keep it? He's going to be shipped off on a plane later on tonight. Who gives a damn? Nobody's going to listen to anything he has to say anyway. And by the way, he's so frightened about what's happening to him, the last thing he's going to bring up is how much money he had in his pocket. So you can clearly rob these folks up to and including probably sex crimes, you name it. Anything you want to do to them, it's kind of fair game. They don't have a right to speak out. They're not going to go before any judge. They're just going to go from literally custody to deportation, and then they're going to be in some other country you're sending them to. And if it's down in El Salvador, then it's going to be just another prison. And what's really frightening about the prison down in El Salvador is they've had hundreds of individuals perish in that facility. All because you may have ink on your skin, you could end up there. So I'm going to say right off the bat, if you definitely have ink on your skin and you're brown in America, you're probably not safe. But what do you think? Do you think that some of these folks are now trying to remove tattoos from their skin? God bless those who decided to get neck and face tattoos, because tattoo removal does leave scarring. And how long do you think it'll be before they'll start judging you based on the scars on your face from the former tattoo that existed there? So being brown in America and tattooed is, simply put, not safe. Last but not least, in regards to this facility down in El Salvador, President Trump was caught on a hot mic just yesterday stating that homegrown criminals should be sent to El Salvador as well. He was talking to the president of El Salvador, telling him that he wants to send homegrown criminals to that prison as well. Meaning that if you are an American citizen, born and raised in America, no immigration issues to even be discussed, and you are convicted of a violent felony, you too can end up in El Salvador. He wants to send Americans to El Salvador as well. Now, once again, you see that the Trump administration is 100% okay with no due process for these immigrants, for people, for brown people, essentially. Do you think there's any chance that no due process attitude could spread to American citizens? Or do you believe they're going to draw the line at immigrants? Keep in mind, some of these immigrants are not illegal. Some of them have green cards. They're not getting due process either. You got folks that are being stopped and deported simply because they were at a protest. So understand that. Do you think it's going to stop at immigrants? If he gets the right to send American citizens to other nations, do you think it's going to stop at immigrants? Also, he states he wants to send homegrown criminals to El Salvador. Now, the people that he's sending there now are not getting due process. So they're being accused of a crime or accused of being a gang member by our government and just sent away. Their opinion, their input, them trying to defend themselves, none of that shit matters. Once the government says you're part of a gang, that's all that's necessary to send you away to that prison. Do you think that in itself will also spread to American citizens if Trump gets the right to send American citizens to El Salvador? In other words, just like the immigrants are not getting due process before being sent to prison, it could possibly spread to American citizens, where they grab Americans off the street that have tattoos and say, you're a member of the Crips, you're a member of the Vice Lords, you're a member of the Bloods, you're a member of the Aryan Brotherhood. Wait, that ain't gonna happen. That ain't gonna happen. Never strike that last one. But the other ones, the other gangs, you gotta go. Do you see a possibility where we could one day get to a point where American police are allowed to grab American citizens, suggest they are criminals, and that is enough to send them off to some facility for indefinite incarceration? Let me know what you think in the comments. Very concerning times, if you ask me. As always, feel free to smash that like button, or in this case, the dislike button. Subscribe. See you in the next video.